How you guys doing? Thanks for watching. Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety and strobe lighting equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, SUVs, and real nice 21 Dodge Ram 3500 cab chassis, Cummins diesel 4-door toolbox bed. Black Ram like this one here. If you want more details on this build, you can always email in, ask for the Kure construction build. That's a good partner of ours here. You can see the name on the back door. But this is a fairly simple build. It's a bunch of green, white, thin X. Obviously, the wiring them together, I'm going to leave for you guys out in the field. As far as a link to the products featured in this video, just a green and white thin X. That's it. And we're running them all off of the factory auxiliary switches. I did a little different synchronization. If you can see, the front four are synchronized on a full color alternation. The whole light does the full color, and it's actually doing a triple flash, a nice fast 3 flashes in a row. Camera has a little hard time picking it up. I can drop the ISO down a little bit, give you a little better look at that. And on the side, as you can see, the toolbox side, the headache rack side, and the 2-step. I synchronized those 4. Now, I also synchronized the other 4 together, but there was no need to synchronize the sides with the front, or the front, or each side with each other. You can't physically see the left and right side at the same time, so we synchronized the right side 4, the left side 4, the front 4, and we also synchronized 4 in the rear. Now, I get it, for the purists, I was a little on the fence myself about that front fog. Is that front fog front, or is that side? Does it activate on the front switch or the side switch? It kind of does both. And the reason I left it as part of the front is because we did those 2 in the tow hook, and it alternated nicely with the tow hook and made a nice 4-light display up front. So as you can see, the 4 side lights, I call them, the 2 on the steps and the 2 on the toolbox and the headache rack in the back, they're synchronized on a split pattern where all 4 are going to bounce left and right within each other on a double flash, as well as change colors. When they synchronize them, you can get all of them to change colors at the same time, as you can see here. If you didn't synchronize them, you could let them run wild and really have them all changing colors at different times and get much more of a random display. Totally up to you, whatever you like. There's many flash patterns. The other cool part about this build is every single one of these lights has the flood mode activated and tied into auxiliary switch 2. So at any time you can hit aux switch 2 and light white all of these lights all around the truck, and that'll override the flashing if the flashing happens to be on. But you can always use the flood mode without the flashing as well. This truck is an uber simple install. Switch 1 flashing, switch 2 flood. Nice and easy. There's another shot of the side of the truck. These lights in real life, very nice and bright. You get a crisp color display out of all the locations. Worked out quite well. And around the back, you can see we mimicked the same pattern that we had up front. That's a triple flash solid alternation. We did a 2x2 color swap, very similar to the front. And we did that just to add a little bit of variation and to give you a little different pattern in the back. I like the way that this does that nice alternating X with the green and the white. And I'm hoping that that white flood might be a little bit helpful, especially for looking around the truck when you're working or looking in the bed here, as the top 2 are going to light up that bed fairly well. Alrighty, I know you guys like to see the dark shot, and it just happens to be kind of a dark, crappier day out today, so we're not fighting too much sunlight. If you notice, I also have my new light blocking shade, so the sun doesn't kill my videos anymore. Hopefully that produces some better videos for y'all. We've darkened it up as much as we can to show you the flood mode. As you can see bouncing off the wall back there, you get a pretty good output out of here. You know, I pan around the shop, show you my dirty, dirty floor. That's going to change pretty soon, hopefully. You can see you run out of light somewhere right around here. I'd say about 8 or 10 feet away from the truck. That's about as far as the usable light is going to go. Moving a little closer to the truck, you can see the back 4 illuminating here, and that's a single car door, but it's 14 feet tall, and you're probably about 20 feet wide here from wall to wall, and about 15, 18 feet from the back of the truck to the door. So definitely bright enough to find tools, definitely good enough to light the area, light the ground around the truck fairly well, so you're not going to walk out into a chuck hole or into a big mud puddle, any of that. So hopefully this will improve the nighttime pleasure in this truck. Alrighty, so there it is, no lights on. You can see they're pretty inconspicuous. You don't notice them very much, especially on the service body and on the steps. If you wanted to, you could even smoke these lights with our tint service and darken them up a little bit yourself. All these trucks are going to be different, so this isn't going to be a kit. As I said, it's just Thin-X, green-white. Feel free to swap out to a different color. By the way, we've got brand new purple-white Thin-X, if that's your thing. We've got purple-white, green-white, red-white, blue-white, amber-white. So we definitely have whatever color you need in a Thin-X. I'm going to take you around and just show you the mounting locations now, so you can get kind of an idea how we mounted everything. Alrighty, these rams got a pretty difficult grill to work with, so we just took advantage of right above the factory tow hook here is a plastic bezel, and we're able to mount a Thin-X right there, drill a single hole for the wire. It worked out quite well, so that's fairly easy. We used a stainless steel wood screw, the included screw, coarse thread stainless steel screw that's included with the Thin-X for that location. Here you can see where we put that light right between the factory parking sensors there, and there's basically it's just a flat panel of plastic. There's nothing behind there in the way. We send the light left and right and up and down, and we're able to use the included stainless screws on that location as well. I'm trying to zoom in and show you a little bit. There we go. The focus will come in for you there. So that's a very easy location to do. These are Laverne side steps, the real grippy ones, kind of like what do you call it, expanded metal, I think. So what we did there is we drilled and tapped that step for a stainless steel fine thread screw, which we have in-house here, but you can easily get at Home Depot or anywhere. I believe it's an 8/32 drill and tap. All you want is a nice fine thread machine screw and machine tap to match, and anywhere you have a thick enough steel, you don't want to use that coarse thread screw that comes with it. That's for plastic. For steel or aluminum, you're going to want to drill and tap and use a stainless hardware, which you'd have to supply yourself. Moving up onto that headache rack side location right here, same deal, drilled a nice hole, stainless steel threaded fastener, much like the steps, vertical mount instead of horizontal, fairly easy. We did internally wire it. Everything drops down because there was already some wiring in there for the taillights. So we were able to keep all the wiring hidden for both the rear facing lights, which are up there above those taillights. Sorry about that. There you go. The rear facing and the side facing lights are all internally wired. Drop down underneath the rack and go up front from underneath the truck. This one was fun to wire. It's just tricky the way this particular truck body is built. If you have a body like this by Knapheide, you probably know what I'm talking about. This one was a little difficult, but we were able to run the wiring over to the left here, across and down through grommet and underneath, and all safely done. And this one out back, down low and wide, fairly easy. Just a nice flat metal place there to mount. So we made sure to drill and tap and keep all the wiring nice and hidden behind it. All right, so there's your last look. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tune in again to Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety and strobe lighting equipment and installs and tutorials and product sales and anything else you guys need. Make sure you check the link in the description for the Thin-X green-white that was featured in this video. And thanks again for watching. Thin-X LED.